everyone, my name's Emily. I'm 18 years old, brown hair, brown eyes. I like long walks by the beach. Just kidding, sand's really tiring. So today I'm going to be talking about why I think I'd be a pretty good fit for the positions of Traditions Chair, Secretary, or Membership Director. So the first position I'd like to talk about is Traditions Chair. Let's ask the current Traditions Chair person what she thinks of me. So the joke is I'm already Traditions Chair, and I think I'd be a great person to get another go at this since I didn't actually get to do anything that I want to do as Traditions Chair since coronavirus happened. Some of the things I still wanted to do was get the amendments in the Constitution amended, and I wanted to fix up and otherwise update the family tree since I don't know how long that's been neglected, and that's something I really wanted to do. I also thought it'd be really fun to try to get the traditions of Alpha Zeta to get going more within our little group of active chapter people and along to our alum members. Not only do I think it kind of sucks that I didn't get to actually fulfill my job that I was supposed to do, I do have a lot of leadership outside of OPA, like in band, National Spanish Honor Society, and Beta Club. While it doesn't seem like it, I already have a lot of experience of being a leader, and I'm organized enough to maintain these types of traditions. Of course, some of you may be thinking like, man, you're really not cut out for this. I mean, first of all, that kind of hurty, but I mean, you're very valid, and I respect you for speaking up with your opinion. Anyways, I'm not you, and I don't know exactly what cons are going to arise, but I know they're there. The biggest one I could fabricate is I didn't actually get to do my job as a Traditions Chair this semester. That's true, but to be fair, nothing this semester has gone the way that I thought it was going to go or that any of us thought it was going to go because of coronavirus. I had lots of plans to carry out being Traditions Chair, but between moving back home, having to support my family, and having to deal with professors that were definitely not meant to teach online classes, I haven't really been able to carry through with this. Not only that, but it's hard to do things within the sorority that I wanted to do when I'm not even 100% sure what's happening within the sorority right now. I haven't really gotten integrated into that leadership grind in this organization before everything went to crap. So I'm not really 100% sure what to do in this situation. Should I have reached out? Maybe. Did I? No. Because I figure with everything else going on, Traditions Chair was probably the last thing on anyone's mind except mine. Anyways. So the next position I kind of want to talk about is secretary. I know, this is a big shock because it's the first big boy position I've been talking about. Let's ask the current secretary how she feels about it. Just kidding. I literally can't do that. Alina's not here. I'm not Alina. I'm not the secretary. It wasn't even funny the first time, probably. Moving on. So I think I'd actually be a pretty sharp fit for secretary. This is because most of the jobs that are required for secretary are things I already do or have done with like maybe plus 10 more complexness. Yeah. For example, creating and maintaining a Google Calendar for the entire sorority. As you can see, I use it a lot. Like, a lot. Well, I'm not exactly sure how to make it so it's accessible for the entire sorority. I'm definitely willing to learn with the help of Alina as long as she doesn't pummel me for being dumb and not knowing. Shout out to Alina, though. Another thing that I already have a lot of experience with that the secretary has to handle is sending out minutes. Surprisingly, I've done this a little too much since I've gotten into college. Since I've gotten into college, I've been in charge of 7 group projects, not 5, not 6, not 8, but 7. And for each of those, I've had to create minutes and send them out on either a weekly or bi-weekly basis. These are some examples of my minutes I have saved. For one of these projects, I have also been responsible to record attendance and tardies, recording misbehavior, and I was also in charge of reporting excessive attendance, tardy, or behavior problems to my professor. If you think I'm too big of a baby to actually mark people for not doing their best, you're wrong. I've had to actually kick a kid out of my group. Not my proudest thing. I actually cried really bad when I did it, but it goes to show that I'm very serious about being organized and following rules while I do it. Something about me that I think will really help if I get secretary is the fact that I am extremely organized. Doesn't seem like it. I am. Like I said, I've been the group leader of a lot of projects, and I think to be able to manage a group of anywhere from 4 to 11 kids and successfully get an A shows that I'm pretty organized, as I had to be able to look over what everyone was doing at all times and make sure everything was submitted on time, set up deadlines, and get everything done the right way, which is really hard because some kids are like dumber than a doornail, and it's kind of rough when they don't even know how to like read. Another instance of my organizational skills in the field is when I was in high school, I was kind of a librarian for the band program, and me and a couple other people, and by a couple other people, I mean one other person, were in charge of organizing a bunch of our music and a bunch of our uniforms for my freshman and my sophomore year. And I don't know if any of y'all have seen a band room and how they organize things, but that's like about 100 uniforms, because I have a tiny band, and like well over 100 pieces of music that we have to go through and record where each and every bit of it was and how we were organizing it. We had to have that information readily available for the band director or parents or students. Based off all my prior leadership experience and organizational skills that I've gotten in college and in my past things, I think I definitely have the background knowledge necessary to keep track of the chapter minutes, taking attendance, and keeping records of everyone's contact information. All in all, I think being secretary would be a good fit for me, not just because I think I'd be pretty good at it, but because it would be helpful for my personal growth. I've never been on EB before, but I want to be EB until I eventually hit my senior year and I go alum. I think that this would be a great position for me, as it seems to more or less like observe and organize all the tasks of the other EB positions without actually having to like dive into it. So I'm kind of seeing this as a good way to like get my toes in the water, understand EB and Alpha Zeta a little bit better than I currently do. And I mean, yeah, I think I'd be pretty good at it at the same time. So back to the cons that I want to beat y'all to, because I'm insecure and I'll be thinking about these cons and how y'all are probably going to rip me apart in pro con pro. So the first thing that comes to mind is that y'all might be like, well, you really didn't do much as traditions chair. How do we know that you're actually going to do stuff now? And this is kind of going back to what I said earlier, is that the reason I didn't get to do anything as traditions chair is because of coronavirus. I was 110% out of anyone's control, and I did have a whole lot of plans, and that's why I'm running for it again, because I'm really upset that I didn't actually get to do anything. It kind of is... The most I can do to ease y'all's minds about that, at the very least, is ask to just trust me, trust my past experience, trust, like, the screenshots. You know, I've had a lot of success in a lot of other ways as far as being organized and helping people get through things as kind of like a pillar. So the difference is between other things I've done in the past, not including band, I like that, but, you know, college projects, is that I actually like y'all. You know, it's not just me trying to make sure my GPA doesn't fall. I actually want to try my best and do what's good for the whole group of the sorority and just for my family, you know. Another concern is like, well, you haven't been on EB before. What if this is too much and you suck butt at it? I can't guarantee that I won't suck butt at it. You know, I can't predict the future. Maybe I will suck. I have no idea. However, I gingerly say that this position on EB is a little less stressful than something like vice president or service director, just because this position, while I'm sure has its own hurdles that I'll have to jump over, if I get it, of course, it's probably the easiest one to ease into, as it's best for someone with strong organizational skills, which I most certainly have. Not only this, but the previous secretary will still be around, so I'd be able to ask her for help on things that I'm not really sure how to do, like coordinating all chapter submissions to the Chevron. The last position I want to talk about is membership director. Of course, I'm not eligible to run for this. I've only been active one semester, but I'm just recording this in the event that someone who isn't eligible doesn't run for it, because I really like the idea of this position. I think I'd be good at it, and yeah, I aspire to be membership director more than anything else, like on EB or anything, so this is a just in case. So membership director is a big position with a whole lot of really important responsibilities. The biggest thing, without listing all specifics, of new member quizzes and submitting all things to like the national membership director 2 weeks before activation, is that the membership director oversees the progress of all new members, starting with recruitment. While I, of course, have never ran a sorority recruitment, it's my first year in college, I've never done that. I've been very involved in other organizations where I had to be a key part in getting new members to come into a program, stay in the program, and start to like the program. Not to keep beating a dead horse, but back in high school yet again, I was in band, and I was one of the people that was very involved with our like parent night and registration night, because the current students would go around and talk to the members of the band that were prospective members try to get them to join, and then once they were in, it was a job of people like the section leaders, captains, and drum major, all of which are positions that I held, to make them enjoy being in the program while simultaneously teaching them about the program and of course about music and other things like that that are important for band. Another chunk of experience I have under my belt is that I'm also an orientation leader. While coronavirus has kind of killed off exactly where my job stands right now, I don't know how that's going to work still. I have already gotten all the training for making experiences fun for new students that are coming into Kennesaw, and we've also gotten training on how to stay involved with new students as they move through it, while also teaching them new things about Kennesaw. So I think I do definitely have the experience necessary to help people get in the sorority, start learning about it, and enjoy it, and get integrated into our freaky little family. Another thing to note about my experience is that membership director is responsible for leading new members through the new member process, which I just went through a semester ago, so I'm still very familiar with everything that went down and all the responsibilities that new members are supposed to have. Another important job of the membership director is to update all membership records and forms at least once a semester, which includes the roster, contact list, and family trees. Notice how I already said I'd be good at those things. The things I mentioned, just to key back to that, is that I would be very good at anything that requires organizational skills, just because I'm a very organized person with a lot of not only academic but extracurricular experience in being organized. Also, some of the things that are required by a membership director are things I was planning on doing anyways. Another job of membership director that I feel like I could handle pretty well based on my organizational skills, all chapter stuff pertaining to membership points are being fulfilled. That's to what I'm assuming. It seems to be more of a matter of keeping up a spreadsheet of sorts and being able to track everyone's names versus all the points they need to have and keep track of that. That way you can update people on where they're standing on all these different things. That sounds like an organizational matter to me yet again. Some jobs can be fulfilled with just raw previous experience and organizational skills and other things I already hold, but there are some things I, of course, would have to be educated on. For example, I'm not too sure how to help out with recruitment chairs or submit all necessary new member information to the National Membership Director 2 weeks before activation. However, even though I don't really know how to do this, the current membership director has said that she would leave a notebook behind that has all the necessary information for the new membership director. Not only this, but she's also still going to be around. While she's going to go alum, she's still going to be around in Kennesaw, and I'm sure that she'd be very open to help people, probably. Therefore, my lack of knowledge on tasks of these would not be too huge of a setback. Of course, there's always those dreaded cons I'm going to wrestle with on camera because, like I said, it scares me to know that y'all are going to have to talk about why I'm not a good fit for it, so I kind of just want to get to that ahead of time. The first con that comes to mind is the whole thing of you've never been on EB, especially not a position like this. Will you actually be able to handle it, and will you have the knowledge necessary to tackle it? My answer is probably. The most I can say on this is that I'm sure for many of you, you've had to either step up to EB with little or even no experience on EB just because that position needed to be filled. I feel like I have lots of experience, reliability, and dedication, and those things would support me if I were to get this position. And I would also be able to just learn the rest by being thrown in, kind of like my friends, letting me roll down a hill at really fast speeds, letting me eat crap, probably, when I was learning to ride a bike. Not only that, but like I said before, I think I would still have the help of our lovely girl, Kensley. Another con I can see y'all thinking is reliable. How reliable are you really? You're not always able to attend things, and you can't always do things on time. How do we know we can trust you? To that, my friends, I request that you look at the circumstances. The things that make it so I can't attend things or that I can't do things on time are typically out of my control. Like with bid day, the whole thing with my car and my dad wouldn't let me use his. I could not control that happened. I would have loved to come, but that's not something I could have controlled. Not at all. Other things are like financial issues. I can't help that because I'm a student that has a job that doesn't pay me right now because there's no orientations. So financially, my family is in a very bad place, so that's also a hard thing for me to get through. In situations where things have been 110% completely in my control, I've always tried my hardest to support Alpha Zeta as much as I possibly can, as I genuinely love this program and the people that are in it, because y'all really make me feel like I'm inside of a family and I want to do the best I can for y'all. The last thing I can think of is, well, even when it doesn't cost too much, you still can't come to things. That again is very circumstantial. Like, my class is falling at the right on the time of recruitment this year. Another thing is that for most weekends I would have to go home because my roommate was sorry. Yeah, you get the idea. I did not like her at all. She was kind of mean. And other than that, my parents would want me home a lot. This May, I am moving to an apartment in Kennesaw. Also, I am hopefully going to be doing marching band if they don't tell me that I suck really bad and they don't want me in it, which I would not blame them for, but like, that would be sad. But yeah, I'll hopefully be doing marching band, which means that on top of having an apartment in Kennesaw and actually living around here and having more obligations that require me to stay in Kennesaw besides just like, I'm gonna do OPA sometimes, I'm probably going to be around a lot more. While balancing marching band, OPA, and long-distance relationship things is going to be a hurdle on its own, I still feel like I'll be a lot more involved with Omega Phi Alpha as I move forward, just because geographically I'll be in the right place. To close off on the whole membership director portion, I just want to give a little insight on why I'm so passionate about this position. When I first joined the sorority, I didn't think I would actually stay. I honestly thought that all sororities were just led by like some freaky hive mind, you know? I think a lot of people come into college that they think just like I did, where it's just like, sorority girls, big boobs and fake personalities. I had a very negative perception of it when I first got into it. But through being with y'all, I've learned a lot more, is that a sorority isn't just a freaky hive mind. Every girl has a beautiful, unique personality with a whole bunch of talents and are like 10 times smarter than I am. Like those of y'all that like take OChem, I don't even know what an acid and a base is. Yeah, I don't know. No matter what position I could potentially get, if I get one at all, I don't really care, so long as I still get the chance to help girls get into the sorority and see that we're not paying for friendship, but we're definitely getting paid, you know, with a bunch of happy memories with our close friends and family. All in all, I'm not really looking to convince you in any particular way that I deserve this position or this position. While I'm not sitting in a hallway with my fellow sisters this time to know who's going for what, I know that no matter what, anyone who's going for anything is a great girl and would be a great pick for any position they get. Hey, that's it for me blabbering. Thank you for watching through. Like, I don't know how long this is. I had to take a lot of takes. There's no timestamp. It says 7 seconds because I just started a new one. It's probably been a lot though, but thank you for watching all of it. I miss you guys a lot. I really, really do. Love y'all. See you Sunday.